Welcome to episode 29 of the Brainstorm, the last one of the year. Before we dive into it, we want to send some thank yous out there, a lot of gratitude. Really want to thank Public for helping to produce this. Mike at Public, Mike at ARC, Keith at ARC, really helping us out. It's the first time in 2 years that there's not a for-year innovation podcast, but old faithful Brainstorm every week, never miss it. Here we are. Nick, you got any gratitudes to throw out there?
Well, we'll reiterate all of the thank yous you already threw out. Also extend a few to the rest of the marketing team at ARC for helping make sure this happens each and every week. And then also, I think FYI is not happening, but I did hear they are going ahead with another Bitcoin brainstorm. So that should be out. I don't know if it's this week, but I believe in the following week. So looking forward to all of that. And then obviously a big thank you to all of the listeners. Each and every week, we love the commentary, the feedback that we get, and please continue it so we can continue to bring the show to you each and every week.
It's true. The biggest thank you to all of you.
All of you.
For this last episode, we're just going to go through, I think, Nick, let's do a top highlight of the year and, what excited you most? Where is the future most exciting? Or most underappreciated?
Sure. So I think for me, obviously, if you look back at the 29 episodes, a very common theme is AI. I think we'd be remiss to say that AI wasn't kind of the needle mover in the tech space this year. But there's one product and one tech story in particular that stands out. And maybe I'll get some backlash for this, but I really do think it is probably one of the most slept on consumer products in the past decade plus. And that is the Meta Ray-Ban glasses. I've now had a few months or about a month to play with them. I wore them to my wedding. I wore them to a recent engagement. I filmed a proposal. I've been using them, as much as I can. And I really think that the way that this form factor works and how it's going to also introduce AI, I think we're starting to see some videos now of the multimodal capabilities. So Meta AI being able to see and hear. I think it's going to change how you are used to personal computing on a mobile level. So I'm going to throw that out there.
Nick, have you not lost is it not a fad? The appeal hasn't been lost after, it sounds like, those are, I won't say novelty events, but right. Those are special occasions. You're clearly bringing them out. Are you wearing them on a day-to-day basis? Is it like the GoPro where it's awesome and you take it skiing, but you go skiing once a year and then you don't touch it, the other 364 days?
Yeah, I won't say that it's an everyday use case because, again, they are a pair of sunglasses. So I think I need to maybe buy another pair that are, just the glasses and see how, I use that on a daily basis. But I think having that functionality of, hey, this is a pair of sunglasses first, and then it also works with, a camera and multimodal AI will be coming. I think that's where it becomes interesting. And it's almost the way that I would describe it is it's kind of the Trojan horse for AI assistance or, that type of compute. And it's not something that I've put away and said, I had my 2 weeks with it. I'm going to move on to the next new device because again, it has that sunglasses functionality.
So it is more lasting than the Oculus.
Definitely. Because, when you use the Oculus, unless you get really hooked into one game or experience, that is something that you seek out to do VR. This I seek out when it's sunny, which, down here in St. Pete is almost every other day. So there are, I'm wearing them consistently. And then if I just come across a moment or an event where I think, hey, it'd be worth filming this and, reliving the memories the way that I saw them, I think that's where it becomes truly unique. And I think, what has blown me away is one, the video capabilities. I think it looks just as clear as what I'm able to get off my iPhone. And then just these new videos that are starting to come out where, you're having some people, ask this personal AI, hey, what am I looking at right now? Or how can I, do X, Y, and Z? And it's able to understand and contextualize this person's surroundings. And I think that is like what really excites me. And, I'm like, I think this is a big movement within mobile compute.
So are you wearing them on your daily run, or are you still sticking to AirPods for audio?
Yeah. So daily runs, no. My understanding is they're water resistant, but I don't really want to
Can't
play
handle
around.
the sweat.
My AirPods already can't handle the sweat, so we're being careful with runs. I did wear them on one run, and it was able to do a pretty good job capturing some of that film and playing music. So again, there's use cases where I think the functionality of it, is perfect, and then I think it's just going to continually get better as it rolls out and it converges more with AI.
And so what do you think this means for Snap, for AirPods, and for the Meta sunglasses? Do you think the sunglasses are going to reach AirPod status, or still too niche?
I don't know that it's too niche, but I think my current thesis, or, what we've kind of been batting around behind the scenes, is our sunglass is going to be the only form factor that, a personal AI is going to work on. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think we'll have these embedded AI assistants in all different types of form factors. Sunglasses may be one. We're seeing necklaces, pendants. I think AirPods are a great way to do this. So I think it's going to take different devices to truly reach the mass consumer. But I think, having the sunglasses as kind of this first use case is interesting, again, because it has that, everyday use case if you're living in a sunny area. AirPods, I think, would be another perfect way to do this, because, people are carrying around their AirPods, probably just as often as they're carrying around their phone at this point. Like, it's something that's just on you at all times. So I think it's going to take different form factors to really reach mass adoption. But I think, sunglasses will probably be one of them. And maybe it's a case that you'll have 3 or 4 different devices that are, always on your person, that you're kind of swapping in and out of, but that AI assistant kind of lives within all of them or is embedded in all of them. So it's kind of a seamless transition between device to device, and you don't really notice. That's kind of how I envision this all.
The AI operating system.
Right. And I think that's another, big area of research that we should probably get into next year, which is, AI as an operating system living on these devices. They're, kind of the new form factor hardware play, and then AI as the operating system powering it. Sam, what about you? What is your one big takeaway from this year? I feel like I took the big one, so.
Yeah, I'll take one that's happening now, but I think much longer term implications. I'll go SpaceX. So just some crazy statistics out there, right? They're going to put up 80% of mass to orbit, and that's SpaceX versus the rest of the world, which is pretty incredible. Their reusability rate of success for rockets is pretty incredible. They did just lose one, not even on landing. It was on the way back to port. The seas were rough and it was windy, and it toppled over. So it's sad to see that go. But that one booster had gone to space 19 times. So pretty far from where we were just a handful of years ago, when you had major aerospace and defense CEOs saying, reusability would never be economic. Here we are, and no one's come close to repeating what SpaceX has done. 2.3 million people subscribing to Starlink. I really think this is just the beginning. And, kind of to your point of how quickly things can change and the future being very different. It's like, we think we live in a connected world now. I don't think people appreciate how disconnected we are, and how true global coverage is going to change the way that everything works. And I think Starlink is, on the way to delivering that. And then we've got Starship. Starship launches. First one, fiery. Second one, less fiery, but still some explosions. We might, who knows if you could get a third one before the end of the year. We're running out of time. But Starship and what they're doing there, the long-term consequences of Starship, at least according to our research and some of what Elon has said himself, is you could lower launch costs by another order of magnitude, or even 2 orders of magnitude if you get to real, airplane-like reusability. And that changes the whole space economy, and it changes, if we can set up a moon base, if we can get to Mars. And so is it this year versus last year for SpaceX? Is it a continued story? I'd say, why this year? Because Starlink's ramping, and that's what's going to fund it. And then 2 Starship test flights, and that's the start of it all. So for me, that's the most exciting long-term outer space trajectory.
So one question for you. Normally we ask, what's your 5-year prediction? But given this is a more short-term oriented outlet, does Starship land next year?
Which part? The first part?
The first stage? Yeah. The first stage.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's, as they're going to splash it down nice and gently, but I think they can land it.
And
it
what
would be
about
crazy.
The second stage?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
I'm an optimist.
Yeah, optimism.
I'm an optimist.
And into the end of the year, I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Nice. Any last things, Nick? End of year thoughts? New Year's resolutions?
No, nothing yet. I still haven't
goals,
done
no goals for 2024.
I'm a bit of a procrastinator with the end of year goals or New Year goals. So I got a few more days to put them together. But I guess, just to end, just another thank you to everyone that has tuned in, and please, again, continue to provide feedback to us. We want to make this an outlet that everyone enjoys, and we love the commentary. So thank you all so much.
It's true. Share it with your friends. We have a goal, Nick. We got to say our goal. We want to get to consistent 20,000 views.
Yeah.
Got to put it out there.
Got to put it out there. That would be a double from our current average, but
and we can't just rely on people to share it. We want to keep providing as much value so that it's worth sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all so much.
All right. See everyone in 2024.
See you in the new year.